we had a farm. I grew up on a farm. We had the milk and
the
eggs.
farms on Mars Hill Road at
where the Durham and Fry elementary schools are now.
Right.
That was the farm.
Right.
But we would come to town on Saturday and bring chickens, turkeys, eggs, butter, and for Mom to buy the groceries that we couldn't grow, which would have been coffee, sugar, the staples that we couldn't produce ourselves. Mm-hmm. And of course, what I did was, while she was shopping, is I went to the movie, paid 10 cents to go to the movie. But those were the early memories I have of town. But to answer your question, we lived in the Ackworth community virtually all my life. My wife was actually born on Main Street, so we've been in this area. Mm-hmm. When the cotton gin was blown away, it was steam operated. It had a whistle, steam whistle. Mm-hmm. It came off of a steamship in Savannah, Georgia. I don't know the details about how it got to Ackworth, Georgia, but anyway, when the storm blew away, the Keenels had opened the mill in Ackworth. Mm-hmm. They did socks and they did other things before that. They did hosiery, women's hosiery. They bought that whistle.
Okay.
And that whistle stayed on there. And if other people haven't mentioned it, they will, or you ask them about it. Mm-hmm. The whistle now is in the museum. Okay. We donated it to the museum. Mm-hmm. That whistle was blown at time to go to work, lunchtime, come back from work, and then every single day. We could actually hear the whistle from our home.
Really?
On Mars Hill Road.
Wow.
But anyway, when they closed that plant, my dad said, "You need to go get that whistle." I said, "Why do I need a whistle like that? I don't have anything to blow it." No, and then he told me the history of it. He said, "No, you need to go get that whistle." Wow. So Mr. Bob Keenel and I negotiated the sale of that, and I bought it. And it's a treasure I wouldn't take $1,000 for. I wouldn't take $5,000 for it. Of course, it belongs to the city. It belongs to the History Foundation now.
For sure. We
were standing in the hall, and she was at her locker. I distinctly remember her standing there, and I don't know what it was, but I told him, I said, "One day I'm going to marry that girl." I did 3 years later.
Wow.
65 years ago. So we will be celebrating our 65th wedding anniversary in August.
Oh, that's fabulous.
We opened a store where McDonald's is now. It was called Durham's Jiffy Junction. It was a real old-fashioned convenience store. We sold seed, feed, fertilizer, the whole works. And
it's old-fashioned because it caters to farmers as well as
the community.
Folk.
We even had charge accounts, so that people, if they didn't have money to buy groceries, we charged it, and they paid for it on Friday when they got paid.
This is pre-credit. This is pre-credit card the way we think about it today. But a lot of stores had their own credit.
Oh yeah, yeah. But that was that took up a lot of time. We stayed there until '75. The interstate came through. We did not know the interstate was coming in that close to us when we bought the store. And it did come closer, and when they brought it in, they did the interchange and did a huge amount of construction there, and took a lot of our front parking lot and dirt, mud, and everything, and then we just said,
okay, so you're talking I-75, which opened in the late '77.
Right.
So where exactly was the store?
Where McDonald's is.
Okay.
It'd be if you're going out from Ackworth now on 92, turn left to go on toward the interstate, right there at that
Glade Road
corner.
or?
No, 92.
92. Sorry. Oh yeah. Wow, that's a busy intersection nowadays.
Yeah. And it was busier then because that's when the 75 stopped there for a period of time. So we had traffic for a couple of years while they were finishing that. That took up a lot of our time. We just closed the store and went back to work.
So the interstate wasn't good for business because it's local business?
Right, and the traffic and the construction, dirt, dust, just it was not good.
Yeah. So this is your first business after you got out of the military?
Yes, that would have been my first business venture.
And then it goes to about 75.
75, we closed the store, 75.
And then what do you do after that?
I went to Kennesaw State and got my real estate license and started selling real estate.
Okay.
My wife went back to work at Lockheed. We got robbed 3 times.
Were you there when it was
I was there. All 3 times. We had one of our doors that when it came up to it, it faced, I can't remember the name of the street now, but anyway, it faced the street that went back in behind what then was Kmart, and then onto the interstate. This guy would come up on a motorcycle, get off his motorcycle, walk in the door, go to the teller, hop back on the motorcycle, go behind the store. Twice, I didn't know what was going on until it was done. The 3rd time, I saw him come in the door, and I thought, oh no, not again. It made me so mad. It flew all over me. I chased him, which was a mistake. Obviously, should never do that. He didn't have a gun. I didn't think he had a gun because he kept his hand in his pocket. And I walked to him and I said, "You do not have a gun." And he turned around. Of course, when he turned around, he headed for the door. Believe it or not, he was a probation officer for the city of Ackworth.
You're kidding?
Nope. And where did he do with his motorcycles? He rode them over and dumped them in the lake. And when the lake went down, at the lowest point, they found his motorcycle.
Wow.
In the water. So that was an interesting experience.
I guess so.
Dangerous, but...
so we got arrested?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know the disposition of it. I never did know. But that was one of the things I remember. Lived at that time. When my parents passed away, there was 4 children still living. None of us could afford to buy the farm. I mean, it was 80 acres. And this was a period of time when land prices had gone up. So, of course, we were approached by construction developers, well, first off, it didn't have sewer, and that would have meant you'd had to put septic tanks on 80 acres, and I was not a septic tank person. And
I hadn't thought about that. So your parents had an outhouse their whole life?
No.
They had indoor plumbing?
We had septic tank.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But to think about putting a septic tank on 80 acres,
right.
You could do it legally. You could do it, put it on half-acre lots.
Yeah.
But anyway, we've talked about it, and we first thought, well, let's see if we can talk the Parks and Recreation into buying this. We couldn't afford to give it to them because the girls needed the money. Both all of us did. But we went to the parks, and they said, no, we don't have any money. So Lindsay Tippins was on the board of directors of school board at that time, and I called Lindsay, and I said, Lindsay, you think there's any chance the Board of Education might be interested in our property? And he said, oh, I know you know Lindsay, I'm sure. Well, let me check on that. Well, he called me back 3 or 4 weeks later, and he said, yeah, I got somebody who wants to come talk to you. So we started discussion then with the school. They didn't want the whole 80 acres. They only wanted enough to put one school on. So we said, no, it's either all or none. So they went back and said, well, we need an elementary school, and in a couple of years, we're probably going to need a middle school. So we'll talk about
the way that area was growing, I imagine
it
they
was.
did.
I mean, obviously, it was best decision ever made. We were able to negotiate with them and discounted the sale and sold the property to them. The elementary school was named for Mr. Fry, who had the Fry Gin in Kennesaw. That's Fry Elementary was named for him.
Now, is that Steve Fry, or his son John Fry?
No, Steve.
For Steve, okay.
Yeah.
And Fry Road,
Right.
edge of Kennesaw campus.
Right.
They had that land too.
Right. And so anyway, because I petitioned them to name it Durham, named Fry Durham, and they said, no, it's already gone too far. So they said, just be patient. We got another plan. So a year later, it comes out, we're going to build a new middle school. So Lindsay was still on the board at that time, and so I called Lindsay and I said, Lindsay, we really would like to have that school named after our family. And so anyway, they did, and they honored my parents. It's Harvey and Bessie Durham Middle School.